All right. Hey there, and welcome back. This, once again, is Lori Delcradecki, and today I'm going to talk to you about crafting your core message and defining your purpose in your thesis. And so, as we get started, you're going to start your talk or your message, your sermon, your speech with an intriguing question or like a scenario. So, for example, imagine setting sail on a vast ocean without a compass or a destination in mind. You might drift aimlessly. You might expend your energy without purpose, and ultimately, you'll never reach your intended shore. In the realm of public speaking, that core message, that's your purpose, that's your thesis, and that acts as a vital compass and a destination. So, next, you want to introduce your topic and the significance of that topic. So, for example, today we're going to delve in the crucial art of crafting your core message. You're going to define your purpose and your thesis. This isn't just about picking out a topic, but it's about drilling down to that very essence of why you are speaking and what single powerful idea that you want your audience to take away. Because mastering the skill is the difference between a speech that informs someone and one that truly resonates, and a presentation that's heard and remembered. And so next, you want to state your goals for the session. Example, my aim today is to equip you with the tools and the mindset to clearly define your speaking purpose and to articulate your central message with such precision and power that it becomes an unwavering anchor for your entire presentation. And then you want to briefly outline what you're going to cover. So, we're going to explore the vital importance of having a clear purpose, the process of formulating a compelling thesis statement, and how these elements work together to create that focused and impactful speech. And so, the first foundational question is, why are you speaking? Figure out your why and define your purpose. So before you even think about what you want to say, you must first answer that fundamental question. Why are you speaking in the first place? What do you hope to achieve? Is it to inform people? Is it to persuade people? Is it to entertain people? Is it to inspire people? Or is it to commemorate something? Your general purpose will shape the entire trajectory of your speech. So you need to think about that and you need to be clear on that. So exploring the general purposes of speaking, let's briefly touch upon some common general purposes. So like I said, to inform, that's to educate your audience, to increase their understanding, or to share knowledge. So is that your whole goal in your speech or your sermon or your presentation? Or is it to persuade, to influence your audience's beliefs, their attitudes, their actions? That a lot of times can be in ministry, right? But it can be in other things as well. Or is it to entertain? A lot of times that's not in ministry, but then you never know, right? And the thing is, you want to engage your audience and you want to provide enjoyment also, right? And sometimes that is the reason for it. So the same thing, you have to think about the reason for your speech. Is it to inspire? Is it to uplift, to motivate, or to even stir the emotions of your audience? And then lastly, is it to commemorate? Is it to pay tribute, honor, remember a person at a funeral or a celebration of life, or for an event, or even for an idea? Understanding your primary goal for your content, that will help guide you, your content, your tone, your delivery, because you wouldn't deliver a persuasive speech with the same approach as you would just an informative one, right? So you need to think about your why and what is the whole reason behind it. And then you want to figure out your specific purpose and you want to narrow your aim. So while the general purpose is broad, your specific purpose is laser focused. It's a concise statement that outlines exactly what you want your audience to understand, what you want them to believe, or what you want them to feel, or what you want them to do as a result of your speech. So it often starts with an infinitive phrase like, to inform my audience about blank, or I plan to persuade my audience blank. So think about what your specific purpose is. For instance, a general purpose might be to inform. A specific purpose could be to inform my audience about the 3 main benefits of practicing mindfulness. Or a general purpose to persuade might become to persuade my audience to support local farmers by buying their produce, right? So those are just some different examples, but you want to figure out what your specific purpose is. And then there's the importance of clarity and focus, because a vague or unclear purpose leads to rambling and becomes an ineffective speech. So when your aim is sharp, your message will be direct. It will be impactful. Think of it like focusing your camera lens, right? The old school cameras, right? The clearer the focus, the sharper the image. And so next is the power of your thesis. That's your central guiding idea. So you might ask, what exactly is a thesis statement, right? And so once you know your specific purpose, you need to distill your entire message into one clear, concise, and declarative sentence. That becomes your thesis statement. The central idea is that you want your audience to grasp and remember long after your speech concludes. It's like the North Star guiding both your preparation and your audience's understanding. So the characteristics of a thesis statement, like how do you go about that? A powerful thesis statement is clear and concise. So it's easy to understand. It avoids jargon and it's focused. It deals with a single main idea. It's debatable if it's a persuasive speech. It presents a viewpoint that can be supported with actual evidence. You back it up by the Bible. It's audience-centered. It should be relevant and potentially interesting to your listeners, right? If they don't care about it, then why are they going to pay attention? And then it could have a blueprint. hinting at the main points that you're going to cover in your speech. So how do you formulate that thesis? A step-by-step way is think about how do you craft a crucial sentence? So you start out with your specific purpose. You identify your main points. Like, what are those key ideas that will support your purpose? And then you combine your specific purpose and those main points into one single declarative sentence. So, for example, if your specific purpose is to inform my audience about the 3 main benefits of practicing mindfulness, then your thesis might be practicing mindfulness regularly can significantly improve focus, reduce stress, and enhance overall well-being. And that could go along with prayer, right? Practicing mindfulness, getting closer to God, meditation with God in prayer, right? So those are just some examples, but use the thesis as your speech's backbone. Your thesis isn't just a sentence that you just state in your introduction. It's the very backbone of your entire speech. So for every point you make, every piece of evidence that you share, every story you tell should directly support and reinforce that central idea. If something doesn't align with your thesis, then likely it doesn't even belong in your speech. So that's where a lot of times it's very good to read it, to reread it, to practice it in a mirror, to pretend you're saying it to someone else, to record. You could record it on a Zoom like this and then rewatch it and critique it for yourself. But some examples of weak versus strong thesis statements. So like a weak one would be, my speech is about social media. That's too broad and it's not a clear point. Like, what social media channel? There's a bunch of them. And what about it? Because there's a lot. I've done trainings on social media. There's a lot of things you could talk on that. But a strong one could be excessive use of social media can negatively impact mental health by fostering social comparison, increasing feelings of isolation, and disrupting your sleep patterns. So see, that's clear, that's focused, and it presents a specific argument. And so you want to think about that. The same thing, something like weak. I'm going to talk about dogs and cats. It's 2 separate topics and there's not really any clear focus, right? But a strong one would be, while both offer companionship, dogs require more structured exercise and training than cats, making them a better fit for active individuals with dedicated time. So see, that has a clear comparison and it has a focused point. And so you want to think about what yours is. Is it clear? Do you have a clear and concise thought? And then you want to weave that purpose and the thesis together for a better impact. So, example, your purpose and thesis are not isolated entries, but they work in synergy because your purpose provides the why and your thesis provides the what. So the specific message that will fulfill that purpose. And when you do that, then you ensure that alignment. And so constantly ask yourself, does my thesis directly address my purpose? Do my main points effectively support my thesis? because that alignment is crucial for a cohesive and a persuasive presentation or speech or sermon. But the motivational power of a clear message that you could have when your audience understands your purpose and they grasp your central message, they're more likely to become engaged. They're more likely to be persuaded. And ultimately, they're more likely to be moved by your words. So in a sermon, you want people to come to the altar. You want people to get closer to God. You want people to get better, right? And in ministry, in teaching and training, the same thing. That clarity breeds connection, and that connection fosters impact. So crafting your core message and defining your purpose and your thesis is not just a preliminary step that you should just rush through, because it's the very foundation upon what your powerful and a memorable speech is built. Do you want people to remember your speech? Do you want people to remember you? Do you want people to remember your story? Because why talk about it if they're not going to remember it, right? People get home from church and say, "Oh, what did the preacher talk about? What did you learn about in Sunday school? What did you learn about at the women's meeting? What did you learn about at the training this week?" When you invest the time and effort to get it right, you're going to set yourself up for success and every time you step up to speak. So I encourage you to approach your next speaking opportunity with not just a topic, but a clear purpose that's burning within you and a concise, powerful thesis statement that will guide your every word. And when you do that, you're going to unlock a powerful and focused message. And then watch as as you impact as a speaker and you soar. People are going to remember you. They're going to remember what you say. And then you always want to end with a strong and memorable statement. Your voice has the potential to make a difference. So start by knowing exactly what you want to say and why it matters. Like we talked about at the beginning, why is so huge. Crafting your core message with intention and letting it be the unwavering beacon that guides your audience and leaves that lasting impression. They're going to remember you, and they're going to remember why you talked about it and what you said or what you didn't say. And it's also going to help you to the same thing, be a better speaker. And when people remember you and remember your teaching and utilize it in their life, that's what makes the difference. So I hope this helped you and have a great day. Thank you.